Okay, great.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the open house presentation of TitanicUniverse.com. I'm here with Mark Davis, the seller. Mark, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before we get into this, I just need to, like I do every time, show everybody this next screen in case somebody can see but not hear, give them a chance to read what's on the page. But also I can tell everybody, like item number 3 there, that if you have any questions, use the chat function in the GoToMeeting software, and I will ask the questions when it's appropriate, or at the end if it's not really pertinent to anything else that we've already got planned to talk about. So with that, let's get started. Mark, I think that probably the best thing to do would just be to kind of tell everybody the history, where the site come from.
Sure. So, I've been running the site for almost a year now, and the site has lots of content about everything related to the Titanic that you could possibly imagine. There are everything from videos of video clips of Titanic survivors that were survivors after the accident, detailed articles about everything from the engineering of the ship to survivor stories, poems, pretty much everything you could think of. And it's really a community site for a very large diaspora of people who are just really fascinated with the Titanic.
I think there's quite a few of those. So just so everybody can see, here's kind of a snapshot of the deal. A reasonable multiple. So I put this revenue slide kind of front and center so we could talk about it immediately and then kind of go into everything else. Because I think anybody who went and looked at the listing and they saw that spike in April might have questions. So I thought I'd just give you a chance to explain it right away.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy spike. I wish it did that every month. The Titanic's the 100th year anniversary of the sinking was in April of this year. So obviously it sank in 1912 in April, right in the mid-month. And leading up to that, there was just an insane spike in traffic. I think, if memory serves me correctly, on the day of the sinking, I think I got a couple 100,000 hits just on that day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my hosting company was calling me up, what the hell's going on? So, that's pretty much a singularity event unless you can hang out for another 100 years.
It says a lot for the ongoing popularity of a 100-year-old story, how it still captures people's attention that way.
That's for sure. Titanic is evergreen. There just seems, I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about it that it's evergreen. There are people that are fascinated by it, and there are clubs and gatherings, etc. There's a really wealthy dude in Australia who's building something called the Titanic 2, which is literally a modern version of the Titanic. He's a billionaire.
Wow.
And he's obviously doing that with knowing that there'll be people that want to go on
it. Yeah, for sure. Just bring your own life jacket.
Yeah. Well, they've changed a few of those things, yeah. So right. They made some adjustments.
Right. So since we're on the subject of revenue and expenses and stuff like that, here's the screenshot of the cost of goods sold. Since it does have a store, so it looks like your sales picked up a lot too in that April month. It wasn't just all AdSense.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, totally. Tons of sales. And for those who are interested later on, I can certainly provide a breakout between AdSense and product sales.
Sure. So on the expenses, um, obviously the hosting and the blogger content that you see on the bottom of the page there doesn't add up to those numbers. What's the rest of it?
Let me just pop open my nifty accounting here. Just bear with me half a second. So yeah, there are the items that I've listed under operating expenses are blogger services, computer hosting, office supplies, which is almost nothing. It was like $30 for the year. Professional fees, which are very low as well, and the big one is shipping.
Okay, so you're including shipping expenses here, not in your COGS. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure everyone was clear.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just so yeah. That probably I probably should move those to.
Not necessarily. I think what you do is probably actually more proper accounting, but sellers do it all different ways. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's up like that.
Okay. So there's a bunch of AdSense screenshots in here, and I'm just going to kind of cruise through them while you're kind of talking and explaining anything you think that's relevant.
Yeah, I just blocked out the underlying metrics, not because I'm trying to hide anything, but because Google's terms of service are very clear that you cannot share things like page views, clicks, and CTR, but you can share earnings.
Okay. So we started at February, I'm in April, there's May. So overall, it seems to be a pretty steady earner. October, November. So I assume this is for the store. Are all your sales through PayPal?
Yeah. Yes. All sales are through PayPal. It's 100 right now. It's 100% dropship. The site, and this is just a screenshot, just to give people a little look at the PayPal screen. Orders are obviously picking up quite a bit in the Christmas season. Yeah, all dropship, all very stable relationships with the drop shippers. They're very performant drop shippers. I haven't had any issues or problems. They're reliable. We basically get no returns. I don't think I've had. I think I had once a Titanic model that arrived broken, and the model company just shipped another one out. That was like the worst thing that happened.
Right. So. And so I have a few questions about the drop shipping thing that people have already asked. How many drop shipping separate drop shipping companies are involved?
Right now I've got 3 that are active. However, in a couple of days, if I can find the time, I'm adding a game, a Titanic board game, and a Titanic puzzle, which come from a 4th company. Now, I actually am holding inventory. The guy wanted me to buy 6 of each first and basically test the waters. And we both agreed, and I have it in writing, that after this test, if I decide to continue doing business with him, I will move to a drop shipping arrangement. And they're a very big company, and they have full drop ship capabilities.
Okay.
So 3 right now, probably 4.
And are all those drop shipping relationships transferable?
Yes, they are. And of course, that can be part. I'm more than happy if we get a serious buyer, prospective buyer expressing interest to connect that person up with the drop shippers.
And I think you told me before that the other relationships you have are slightly low tech, right? I mean, you sent me this one screenshot that's on the screen right now. That's like the only one that actually has like a web interface.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very low tech operation right now. Um, Low tech, but also low time. Basically, for one of the companies, all I do is print out a shipping label. I'm sorry, a packing slip, and forward it. Done. So that takes about 30 seconds per order. Um, for another company, I print out a packing slip and a shipping label, PDF them, and email them to the guy. And he's super on top of it and reliable. And that's for the coin. That one takes like, I can do that in like a minute, minute and a half per order. Um, and the models, here's the only one. I go to their dropship portal and I order the model, and each one takes like 1 to 2 minutes. And this is something that, this is super like brain dead work. You could hire a guy in India for like $6 to do this, an hour to do this kind of stuff. I haven't gotten around to it, but because it
Gotcha.
doesn't take that much of my time.
Sure. Imagine it would take a lot of time to put together a 40-inch Titanic model with lights.
Yeah, these are fully assembled, fortunately.
Oh, they come
Yeah,
fully assembled. Oh, that's not the
yeah, they
same thing.
do. Yeah, that's why we actually only ship them, generally speaking, only ship them within the U.S. because the packing, the way they pack these things is like a science,
All right.
so that they don't get busted.
So what are we looking at here? This is a screenshot that you sent me.
Yeah, this is a file that I thought would be interesting for people to see. It should be basically completely accurate. I haven't looked at it in a couple months, so there might be a couple things that have changed a little bit, but it'll definitely give you a very, very good sense of the margins that I have for each product. And this is my complete product inventory as of now, without the new game, without the new board game and puzzle. So you can see the product in the leftmost column and the destination, whether it's a U.S. or international shipment, my wholesale cost, any drop ship fees that apply, any other cost to ship. This is typically postage, column E. And that gives you your total cost. And then I have my sale prices listed on the website and what I charge the customer for shipping. That gives you your total selling price. Then there's the PayPal fees, and you get your profit, and you get your margin.
Am I reading this correctly that a reprint of a newspaper costs $10 to ship in the U.S. and $16 internationally?
You are. They ship it. They do ship it. Well, wait. That includes their drop ship fee. For some reason, I didn't break it out there.
Okay. Yeah,
There
you're
is a
right.
drop ship fee of. Oh no, I'm sorry. Rows 19, 20, and 21 are the newspaper with the drop ship method. So there they do charge $3.50 for drop ship and $8 to ship. Now there was a time. Okay, so there was a time when I actually bought the newspapers and was shipping them myself, and there my wholesale cost was cheaper, as you can see, because that's one of the advantages. But I didn't pay the drop ship fee. Anyway, you can see how the economics work out. It was a little more expensive for me to ship. For whatever reason, when I was shipping through USPS, I think there's a cheaper shipping option out there that I didn't discover. But I was shipping express mail, I think,
Okay.
and it worked out like that. But I don't even deal with shipping stuff anymore. It's not worth it, in my opinion.
All right.
So yeah, I would only look at rows 19, 20, and 21 for that.
All right. So just a couple screenshots from analytics we put in there. I mean, April's come and gone. I seriously doubt you're going to have a spike every April. Maybe on the actual day
No.
of, but it's not going to be like the 100th anniversary. Probably not for another 100 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to make sure everybody saw this just for just kind of the normal course of events, kind of stability with the traffic. And then, of course, the big keywords.
Yeah, and it goes pretty deep into the tail. I can, again, if we have serious buyers, I'm happy to give them access to analytics.
I think we got a tail-related screenshot coming up.
Oh, cool.
So here's a breakdown by country. The entire world is fascinated by it. The search engines, of course. So, of course, this isn't from your analytics, but here's the tail thing I was referring to. This is from SEMrush, which is a third-party source. It's obviously not going to be as accurate as your analytics data, but it shows the number of keywords it's ranked for. This is taken from SEO Moz. Just a shot of how many backlinks the site has. This is a good time to pause for a second. I've had someone send me a message asking me to ask you to kind of explain the SEO strategy, or if there is one.
Yeah. There's basically none. I can tell you what I've done. Generally, it's mostly been content focused, where I've just gone into like the Google keyword tool, look for phrases that people are searching on related to Titanic, and then make sure we have articles with the title tags that match that, and so forth. That's basically it. I looked at hiring an SEO firm, but economically it didn't make sense. So I
So you
passed
haven't
on
done
that.
any link building, or do you
I
pay?
bought the only thing I did is I bought, and this is the only thing, is I bought 2 directory listings. One at, I'll remember the names. They were very high PR directories, high page rank directories. That was it. So two directories. Um, the Google PageRank was already at. It didn't do anything to Google PageRank. Didn't do pretty much anything as near as I can tell. That's been the extent of my my SEO.
Okay. So tell us about a day in the life running it.
Sure. Most days in the life you don't need to do anything whatsoever. I generally, in a normal month, let's put Christmas aside, typically once or twice, probably twice a week, I'll check the orders and process them. I haven't seen any customers take issue with waiting a couple extra days to get their order. And it's pretty straightforward. The orders come into PayPal. As I said before, you're either printing out a packing slip and emailing it, and you're done, or you're printing out a shipping label and a packing slip and emailing it, or in the case of a model, a Titanic model, you are going to their website and ordering it. In all of that, I would say I spend on a non-Christmas time probably 30 minutes a week. During Christmas, I dial up my game a little bit. I check every day because people are more sensitive about getting their stuff in time for Christmas. So I process the orders daily, and there are a lot more orders coming in. So there, I would say I'm spending maybe an hour and a half a week, something like that. The only other thing I do, I have an interesting dropship arrangement with the coin, where it's actually, so normal dropship, obviously you just pay for the goods and you sell it at whatever price you sell it at, and end of story. With the coin guy, it's actually a 50-50 rev share, if you will. Basically, whatever I sell the coin for, minus the shipping costs are out of pocket for me. Whatever I sell the coin for is a, sorry, I misspoke. Shipping costs are split 50-50 as well. basically, we split the profit 50-50. I can walk into the detail, like what's included and what's not, but at the end of the day, it comes out to a 50-50 split. So that's the only one that's a little unique. So because of that, at the end of each month, I provide a little spreadsheet to the guy where I list out all the orders of coins that I sold, and I just do the little mathematical calculation to say, hey, buddy, this is, we sold $500 of coins this month. We each get $250, and I send them a PayPal payment of $250. That takes, I can do that in like 30 to 40 minutes once a month. It's pretty straightforward. That's it. And then the other thing is the blogging. I had a guy writing blog posts for a while. He was okay. Now I have my aunt doing it, just actually to help her out as much as anything. And she does 2 posts a month. I let her choose the topics. I proofread them and post them up. Obviously, if you have someone who knows how to work their way around WordPress, that'll save you time. But generally, each time I do that, I probably spend an hour. So I'd say it's 2 hours a month managing the postings. So that's it.
All right. So, what do you have if the buyer of it asked you what you had always planned on doing to the site but never got around to doing it? What would you tell them?
Yeah. So I made a little list just before the call, and so one thing I would definitely do, and I literally haven't gotten around to doing these things I wanted to, is adding a forum. Definitely, I get all sorts of like wacky questions in emails. People with old antiques that they want me to appraise them. People that want to know the diameter of the blades on the turbines. Just anything you could imagine. The size of the iceberg.
I actually had it on I've had a few people ask me that very question. I was going to ask you if you've thought about putting a form on there. Earlier on in the call, you talked about how there's actually Titanic clubs and how people are fanatics on it. It seems like a natural fit.
It's a natural.
And furthermore, why not have its own club?
Totally. Yes, you could definitely do that. For me, I have a full-time job. I have a family with 2 young kids. I have a few other websites. I barely have time to wipe my ass.
But that's recorded, by the way.
Yeah, for posterity. Excellent. Right. If I hold on to the site, if it doesn't sell, I will at some point get around to adding a forum.
Okay.
It's a good thing. Another thing I would do, and I actually started to Elance contract this out and sort of just, again, ran out of time, was adding a shopping cart, adding a real store. Right now it's just like cast up HTML pages, and it would be much better if it was a real shopping cart store and you could manage the inventory and go beyond just accepting PayPal.
Is this in WordPress now?
It is.
Yeah, there's plenty of WordPress plugins for that.
Yep, totally. Or you could just do a simple PrestaShop integration.
Right.
Yeah, or you could just do a WordPress plugin. Totally. So another thing I would definitely do is sort of hand in glove with that is boost the things for sale. There's actually a museum in Massachusetts, Titanic Historical Society, that has a gift store with a cajillion different things that are all really cool. And I've been meaning to just one day just call them up and see if I could work a deal with them. That alone, if you could work a deal with them, that alone could be your entire inventory strategy right there. If they would do a drop ship or whatever. But regardless, I would try to expand the offerings. I think these games will be big hits actually, because there's a lot of kids hit the site as well as adults. You get a lot of high school kids doing term papers and that kind of thing. SEO, definitely another big area. I'm not an SEO guy. I I am very leery of just hiring kind of like a sort of a low-end SEO company. I don't want to. I've heard a lot of horror stories, and to get sort of a quality one, for me, the economics didn't, just when you put it down on paper, it didn't really make sense for me. But other people on this call may have the SEO expertise or access to that. So that's definitely something I would pursue. You could also explore limited, I would say limited PPC type stuff. You could certainly around Christmas be bidding on keywords like Titanic gifts or things like that. Also just trying really low cost, like the keyword Titanic I think is probably a 5 or 10 cent keyword. Just especially once you add the forum and if you add a club or something like that. Just getting people to hit the site once for discovery. There could be a good lifetime value play there.
I don't think there's 5-cent keywords left anymore, but even 10 cents is cheap.
Yeah, yeah. You could very well be right. I haven't done any bidding on it, so. But I will say they're typically not very commercial keywords. Like Titanic is a lot less competitive than many other commercial keywords that you might think about. And then I would remove AdSense from the store pages as well. I haven't gotten around to doing that. So that's more of just a small tweak.
Okay.
And yeah, one other thing I would do on the home page, I would probably switch. Right now it's just one article, and it's been there a long time. It's this 100th anniversary of the Titanic. Obviously, that's kind of coming and going anyway. I would switch this out to basically be like a blog summary page. So listing out maybe excerpts of the 4 or 5 most recent articles. Keep it fresh. Keep people coming back to the site with new content. It's discoverable right now, but barely. It's on the left column, recent posts, like halfway down. It's actually poorly discoverable.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right, great. So why are you selling it?
Part of the busy factor of my life that I was referencing earlier. I've got a couple other websites that I want to focus on, and it's really mostly about that, just dialing back. I'm spread too thin.
Got it. Well, I've been asking questions as we go, saying I think it's a fairly simple, straightforward project, and you did a great job explaining it, so there's no remaining questions, and we're all done. I thank you for doing this.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
All right, buddy. Take care. That's it.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.